Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Movie Bucket here on Screen Stealers. If you got your popcorn, your soft drink, and maybe even a soft pretzel, it's time to talk about another movie. I'm Brooke. My cocksucking days are over. I'm a home.
Hello, my name is Eduardo, and my root is that my mother got married in pants, and I'm a homosexual.
And hi, my name is River, and I myself was once a gay, and I'm a homosexual. Thank you. Yes.
Happy Pride, motherfuckers! Let's go!
Yes! Happy Pride! Yes!
Y'all, we can only.
It feels so good to admit it. Finally.
God. Okay, quick note. Do you all remember the first time you came out to someone, like just in general, right? You remember that,
Yes.
like, that was it? Hopefully, it was a good experience. That little bit of like euphoria that comes through your brain, even if it goes poorly when you come out to somebody, underrated amount of serotonin, I must admit.
That is true.
Shout out to all my my new gays. Welcome and happy first Pride. And speaking of Pride, if you all hadn't gathered from the way we're rainbowed, and if you didn't watch the end of last week's episode, it's Pride Month here on Movie Bucket.
Yay!
Gay. So we're talking about queer movies all month, and we had to start with a classic. It was chosen by Eduardo. Eduardo, feel free. Do your thing.
Yes, of course. As you already said, Brooke, this is a classic. I think everyone that is queer or like in the queer bubble or knows someone queer needs to watch this movie at least one time. The cast is absolutely amazing. You have people like Natasha Lyonne, RuPaul, Clea DuVall. Like this cast is amazing, and just for that in of itself, you need to watch it, and that's why I forced you all to watch it. So we did watch, but I'm a cheerleader because of course we did. Of course we did. What other way could you start Pride Month? Like, there's no better option, right?
I mean, besides what we both did without, realizing it, and just our brains did the same thing. And on June 1st, we both watched Paris is Burning, like, pretty much at the same time, like an hour.
No, y'all could have messaged me and been like, "Hey, Brooke, do you want to do like a?"
We didn't know. We didn't know.
I know. But no, you all had some of that Latin telepathy going on, and it's fine. Okay, like I get it.
It is
okay, but like.
We talked about it in the group chat. I
literally, the moment I started watching the movie, I texted everyone. So, anyways, we are here today. That is the important thing.
We are here today.
I'm so happy that you chose this because I was gonna watch it this Pride Month, anyways.
Yes.
If you had picked if we had to do it for the podcast or not. So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so But I'm a Cheerleader came out in 1999. It is directed by Jamie Babbit. It is her first movie that she ever made, which also, we could have done this last month. Oh, what a shame.
Right.
It's
the perfect movie to transition. Pun intended. To this month. Yes.
And see, Bodies was also very gay.
Yes.
There you go.
We're merging. Yes.
We're merging. Who wants to date a girl who didn't make the merge? Beside the point. I know River did not get that joke at all, but Eduardo did.
But I am laughing. I am laughing.
Beside the point. But I'm a Cheerleader, starring, including but not limited to, Natasha Lyonne, Clea DuVall, Cathy Moriarty, RuPaul, Dante Bosco, Michelle Williams, not that Michelle Williams, the other Michelle Williams. The blonde Michelle Williams, not Destiny's Child Michelle Williams, aka the third most successful child of Destiny. Thank you, Abbott Elementary. Melanie Lynskey, Wesley Mann, Richard Mole, Bud Court, Mink Stoll, Kit Pardue, a long group of actors in a relatively small scale film. I cannot believe I'm admitting this. This is the first time I've seen But I'm a Cheerleader. I feel like a
I did
terrible.
not know this. I did
feel
not
like
know this.
Gag me a bit for sure, but I'm kind of happy because a lot of the times one of us is like a first watch, and
To
Brooke
rewatch
has seen the movies usually.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
so
here's my
yeah.
thing. I've watched a lot of movies, right?
Yes.
I just have. I haven't seen it before, and I will admit, I really didn't ever think about watching it really, and not for like a, oh, I don't want to see it. It was more of a just to like a, hey, that's a movie that exists that I'll probably get around to at some point. And like when it comes to queer movies, I already have my personal curated selection of gay. A lot of them aren't even gay movies. They're just movies where there are two men that act very gay or two women that act very gay.
That were friends or roommates.
And they were
Right.
roommates.
Oh my god, they were actually roommates in this movie.
Oh my
God.
They were actually roommates.
Quick sidebar. I saw Bert and Ernie did like a Jeopardy category a couple weeks ago about being roommates. And I'm like, they are teasing us. Let them be gay, Sesame Workshop. Let them be gay.
They're gay. There's no way.
Even if they're not gay, they're gay icons, and that's almost as important.
Yeah, truly.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, first watch for me, rewatch for River and Eduardo. And it is, it's a gay cult classic. It's got a lot of talented queer actors in it. It does feature RuPaul in a surprisingly strong performance from RuPaul.
Actually good.
Yeah. Like, I have never seen RuPaul act well until now.
I mean,
No,
this is, I think, from what I've seen, this is RuPaul's best performance,
Truly.
acting wise, from what I have seen of RuPaul so far.
Yeah.
So
it kind of makes me sad to think about that though, because this is when RuPaul wasn't like uber successful as a performer, like in terms of like in the mainstream, right? Ru had Supermodel already came out at this point, but like in terms of being like a mainstream long-term success, that just wasn't where Ru was at the time. So I guess maybe this is Ru back when Ru tried.
right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But Star Booty was also before RuPaul really like exploded into the mainstream, and she was awful in that. So I don't know what happened here.
Yeah, but Star Booty
maybe
is
it's
like
because this was a good production overall. Like it was a good
Yeah, that's
script,
true.
had a good, like good direction. So
Yeah.
that makes a difference, I guess.
If you all haven't seen the 90s Brady Bunch movie, RuPaul's in that too, and is also surprisingly good in that movie. Because they're playing up the like, oh shucks, Brady Bunch energy. And Ru does a very great job at like hamming up this character that they're playing in that film. Highly recommend going to check that out if you haven't. It is camp personified. Like it is so stupid, but I love it so much.
This movie is also like really camp. Is one of the things that I love about it is like the exaggeration of it all in every way. It's just the colors, everything, like it's just the production design, the costumes, even the score. It's something that like on this rewatch I actually paid attention to, and I was like, oh my god, actually the music is really good, like setting the tone for everything. Like I noticed especially in the beginning, and then I kept noticing it like throughout the movie. I was like, oh my god, hadn't noticed before. So yeah, besides everything else, just like the technical parts of this movie as well, like it's just really good filmmaking in general.
I agree. Especially, I think for me, the set design really stands out. We spend most, if not almost all of the movie, in this little house and the structure of it, the colors that are in this house, just the way, as you said, River, the costumes that they wear in this house, it really like it's very interesting how we chose to do this, like how good everything is, especially for a cult classic that like, probably didn't have the biggest budget. I think it's very, very interesting to see how good the set design of it all is. And shout out to Cocksucker. Shout out to Club
Shout out.
Cocksucker, because that was fucking crazy, and I forgot that.
With the fucking huge cock in front, like the animal. Like that was so good.
I was going to say, like,
gays don't know subtlety.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think most gay bars are more subtle, but then I remember that one of the gay bars in where like I live is literally just called Milk. So maybe
Love it.
maybe we're not as subtle as we think we are.
Milk.
Why should we be?
She does a body good.
Oh yes, especially there. Especially yes, especially there. Won't talk about my experiences there, but
one thing that I think, I don't know, like this is how I see, is my interpretation. But like we were talking about the set design, the house, and everything. Like the True Confessions camp. First of all, sounds like a boy band name. Not True. Is it True Directions?
True Directions.
True Directions. Sounds like a boy band name.
True Confessions is the Shia LaBeouf Disney film. The decal.
Okay. But and also the place is just like so gay, right? Like it looks like it was made by a gay person, right? Which I think, yeah. And I think it's that's my interpretation, right? It's to kind of make a joke of how counterproductive it is to put gay people together to try and stop them from being gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, why would you put all of the lesbians together in the same room? To stop that, like it doesn't make, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's so gay.
you're making the boys play like contact sports.
Yes.
You're making the boys fight, quote unquote, each other like in a football match. Hello.
The women in pairs taking care of babies, like that's learning how to be mothers together. That's like,
you play war with each other and you need to tackle each other to the ground.
Yeah. So I want to go ahead and get my biggest positive for this film out of the way.
Okay.
The back half of this movie is funny as hell. Specifically the back half. I did not love the front half in terms of comedy. I think there are some jokes in it that are good, but the amount of hilarious one-liners and funny little quips and moments in the back half are fucking great. Like, I personally really like the scene where after Megan's been kicked out and she's with Lloyd and Larry, where they're arguing, like the couple who's trying to push their daughter out of the house, and the other one is like, she just got out, give her 5 damn minutes. The entire argument is so fucking funny. Shout outs to both of them. Specific shout out to Richard Mole, who I know from the older version of Night Court. It was nice seeing him in something again. I know he passed away a couple years ago, but he was great in this. I love both of them. They're both fantastic in this movie.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I especially love that, like that storyline, the ex gays and rescue the kids, the halfway house kind of thing. What was it that she called the like the gay underground
railroad? Yeah, there you go.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I love that.
Crazy. Yeah, I do agree with you, Brooke. I do think that the second half of this movie is funnier than the first half, but I will say I do think that some of the like more iconic parts of this movie and the most the ones that are like almost the most quoted are from the first half. Like, the entire thing of, oh, I'm a homosexual, that thing is like quoted a lot, and all of the roots are also quoted a lot, I think. So I still want to give credit to the first half because, like, although it's not as funny, maybe it gives us more iconic quotes than the second half, which I think is really interesting. Um, but yeah, I love the XX gays as a whole. I love when they go protest outside of their house, and I forgot. Megan has the sign that says "silly faggot, dicks are for
Yeah.
kids." I love that sign, and I've heard that actually be
So
quoted
funny.
a lot. So shout out to that specifically.
Quick pause, and I don't mean to be insensitive here. You will both get the joke there, right?
Yeah, tricks are for kids.
Okay, I didn't know if the slogan was different outside of the US. Was the only thing I was going to bring it up because, like, that's something that I have heard culturally for years, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I actually didn't know it. I think did it come from this movie? I would assume.
I don't know.
But chef's kiss, beautiful. They don't even need to say it. It's just on the sign, and it makes it. I think it makes it funnier.
Yep.
Because then you
I
say it in
agree.
your head, and you're like, "Oh, that's great!" Like it's a fun little like okie doke realization kind of moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love this movie.
And I do agree that the second part of the movie is funnier, but I still think that there are a lot of funny moments in the first part. And I enjoy, I really love this movie. First of all, I just really do love it. And so I appreciate the different parts of it. Because in the beginning, I think it's really funny, like when they have the right at the beginning, like Megan being terribly kissed by her boyfriend, and then just like the cutting from that to like the scenes of like the cheerleaders like jumping or whatever, like that was, and then I think the intervention scene, like when with the friends and the family in her house, like was first of all terrible, yes, right, like
Yes.
horrible, but also really funny. The signs, like because she's a vegetarian, like the fucking poster, like everything. It was really funny. Of course, the quote that I chose, "I myself was a gay."
Was once again.
Was once a gay. And like RuPaul wearing the shirt that says "straight is great," like casually. It's the small
amazing.
details for me. Like it's
Specifically with like the intervention, I love how the dad just like grabs the tofu like it's toxic, like it's radioactive, like ew.
and like it's a piece of evidence, like it's inside the little thing of like it's a piece of evidence.
Yeah, it's
like
in a fucking Ziploc bag, and it's like half eaten, and you can tell that they like threw it away at some point. It's so funny. It's so stupid.
And then the mother whispering, "We think you're a lesbian."
Yeah. Damn.
Oh my god. Oh,
That's
and then when she gets to the True Directions, and the infomercial that they play as well is fucking hilarious in my opinion. Like it's just really with Kelly. Oh my god, and she's married now.
Good for her.
Shout out Kelly.
Shout out to Kelly, wherever you are. I hope you got yourself a girlfriend.
Hope she's doing well.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask real quick: were there any people in True Directions besides Graham and Megan specifically here you all particularly enjoyed out of them? Because I do think they all kind of have similar enough roles in the film for the most part that it might just be easier to talk about the standouts rather than the individual like performances there. Because I just think it might be easier.
I really like what's his name? Oh my god, Andre. Is it Andre?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and the guy, one of the guys that Megan snitches on, and the one that gets expelled first.
Dolph.
Dolph.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dolph,
yes. Yeah. Those are the two. Like from the guys, those are the two from like the boys, right?
Yeah.
That stood out to me. But I really do enjoy like the whole ensemble with like the dynamics with the group and everything, because they all have been there for like different times. They all like each are dealing with it in their own different ways, you know, and they have different stories and all of that. Not just the root, right? But like everything else as well.
Yes. I was very like I was very curious about. I
Oh,
think
and also,
her.
I'm sorry, the woman that plays Rose in Two and a Half Men, and she does the character here. Brooke, you may know the one with the glasses
I was
and the
literally about
short
to
hair.
say
Hillary,
I was
Hillary,
literally
Hillary.
about to
Yes,
say that
yes.
I
From the
thought
girls,
that
also Hillary. Yes.
yeah, I thought that Hillary was very interesting as a character as to how she just refuses to like let her queerness like really shine. But I also was very interested in Jan and you know the
The
kind of
I'm
small
straight, but I look gay. Like I fit every gay stereotype, but I'm actually
yeah
straight.
yeah that whole scene to me was crazy. It was crazy. I remember when Jan showed up and you know she has like visibly a mustache on her face. Uh, I thought we were going more in like a trans you know like vision for this character, and when they say, oh, I am not gay, I thought they were going to say I'm not gay because I'm a man and because I like women, therefore I am a straight man, and that's where it was going to go. Of course that's not where we went, but um still I think Jan is a very interesting character that we don't get to learn a lot about, so yeah, unfortunate, but yeah.
It was really funny. RuPaul saying or Mike saying after she did all that and like ran away, he was like, "Who's she trying to fool?" And then went after her. Like that was so funny. But I think it was a very interesting character in storyline because it's also talking about it's also criticizing gender stereotypes and roles and all of that, because it's like, okay, she just wants to look the way that she looks and do the things that she likes to do and fuck men. Like what's the fucking big deal, you know what I mean? Like who cares? And
Just because
I
she's
think that's
butch doesn't
valid
mean she's a
too.
lesbian. Just because she's butch
Right,
doesn't mean she's a lesbian.
Yeah,
exactly.
it reminds me a lot of high school, because there was a joke in my high school that everybody on the swim team was gay, right? Now, was that true? To my knowledge, no. I don't even know if anybody on the swim team was actually gay now that I'm thinking about it. But that was the joke, was that everybody on the swim team was gay. And even if there were a few queer people on that team, right? I know a lot of them got hassled about it for years. By the end of school, people would just talk about it like it was just fact. And in the same respect, I know, because my sister's wife was like a pretty successful softball player. She played softball her entire life, so she is the stereotype. I'm sorry, but she talked about how like there were a ton of queer people on the team, yes, but also there were straight girls that were getting labeled as just being gay because they're playing softball. So like, you know,
I used to play volleyball and it was the same thing. Even when like, and I was like, that was like before high school. I was like 13, and it was like it was the same thing.
I mean,
Basketball is all like, yeah, it's just. Yeah.
I myself was in the theater group, and of course, everyone thought that every single man and woman and person in the group was queer, and I think there were like 3 queer people actually in the group, including me, and then 2 bisexual women. So really, like, there was not much to work on. And all the other.
Sorry to interrupt. The crazy thing about it too is the flip side of that was I took computer science my senior year of high school. There were more queer people in computer science than there ever were in high school theater for me. I'll just say that from my personal anecdotal experience. There were a lot of gays that took computer science. I'll just say that much. And it's interesting to think about the stereotypes of all of it, because I played Little League growing up. I know plenty of kids who were in that baseball program that are gay today. And I mean, granted, Tennessee is a breeding ground for closet cases. I'll just say that. But it is really interesting to pull back and look at where Jan is at by the time Jan exits the film, because Jan just leaves. We don't get any follow-up to what happens to Jan after the fact. But like, we know from Megan's perspective of, yes, that it turns out these people are correct, that she is a lesbian, right? But imagine if they're not. And that's just where we're at with Jan, right? Because as far as we know, even
it's Jan just as harmful. That's the thing.
It's more harmful, probably.
Yeah, it's worse.
If you really think
in
about
a different way. Yes, yeah.
Because let's just get this out of the way, because it is a very important topic to talk about, even if this movie is a comedy. Conversion therapy.
Right, the conversion therapy.
Is a very real thing that still happens to this day. I'm going to specifically talk about in the US, because
here too, in Brazil too. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about the experience of conversion therapy in the US and like how it is up here, because especially in the South and in like the Great Plains areas of the US, conversion therapy is an active practice that has targeted thousands of queer people of a variety of ages. And it's so unbelievably harmful to so many people. Whether you just go to a therapist who tries to straighten you out, or we're dealing with praying the gay away, or whatever.
Shocking.
I was
like
saying,
literally shocking yourself. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. And they play it for a joke in this movie. That is very real.
The step 5, the sexual simulation. My God.
Crazy. And I was going to bring this up. I also think it's very interesting how a lot of like the places where supposedly they're trying to not only like more conservative places, like I went to a Catholic school where there were like nuns going around. It's weird how like a lot of those places where supposedly queerness should not be like really accepted, how it kind of like spreads, and how like you find more queer people in those spaces.
Almost breeds it.
Yeah, it almost kind of breeds it by accident, because like there were so many queer students in that Catholic school, and there were just like nuns walking next to like two lesbians making out, and like you wouldn't expect that to be happening in a Catholic school and like stuff like that. I think it is very interesting, as I said, how these places where like it should not be as accepted as it is, it really, as you said, River, it kind of breeds it by accident. And so it's a very curious thing that I wanted to bring up as well.
It's almost as if, because I don't remember how y'all were as kids, but what I remember from being a kid is that when especially my parents or any type of authority figure would tell me that I couldn't do something, I'd want to do it, even if before they told me I didn't want to. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like that also may be a thing of like they are exposed to it. People are exposed to that so much in a negative way that it's still exposure at the end of the day. So it's still gonna breed interest at the least, right? So maybe these people are not like gay, but they're at least going to have interest in that world because they hear about it so much, no matter if it's in a negative or positive way. I don't know. Like when you hear about something so much, especially as a kid, you kind of have an interest to figure out how it works and know more about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I can say that from personal experience.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if we've ever really been fully candid, even off camera, with each other about like where we like when we realized that we were queer. I'll just be fully blunt because I actually find it to be a really funny story in retrospect. So I was a middle schooler. It was 7th grade. The way my school system worked at the time was that middle school started at 7th grade and you were there for 7th and 8th grade. They built a new middle school since then, and now they have 6th grade there. At the time, it was just 7th and 8th. And we had gym class every day that first semester, so you have to go change in the locker room and all the other stuff. Go into the locker room, and there's a guy from a different school that I hadn't met before because all the elementary schools come together. And so I didn't know him when we were younger, so I didn't have this like several years built up thought of who this person was, right? Turn the corner, right as this boy takes his shirt off, right? And then the brain just goes, and that's just how it happened, right? And I know other people that have known from birth pretty much that they were gay. I know people that didn't find out until they were in like their 30s, right? Or even later. Or at least didn't fully consider it because, you know, everyone's experience being queer is different. It's kind of hard to like fully put anybody into a box. And I think that's actually something this movie targets pretty well, is that these stereotypes around being gay are, one, not always accurate, and two,
even in the name, like accurate, even in the name, it's But I'm a Cheerleader, because it's kind of, Megan is like a stereotype of also of like femininity in stuff that is considered girly, whatever. She's like, oh, but I do this and I'm a cheerleader, and she's like, how can I be a lesbian? And I think it's very that. I'm sorry, go ahead. But yes, I agree.
But you're right, though. It was an important thing to bring up, because Megan, if you were to put Megan in a normal high school movie, right? Statistically, she probably wouldn't be gay, just based off of what we see in most high school movies, right? And if she was, she would be the popular cheerleader that our protagonist has a crush on, that may or may not eventually actually become her love interest towards the end of the film, with no actual marketed character development by the end of it, right? That like just who she would be, because stereotypically in Hollywood, gay people are, I'll say lesbians specifically, are either overtly butch when we're looking at, you know, stereotypically, or they're just
sporty, like,
or sporty, or they're like coffee shop gay. And if you are a gay person, you know what I mean by coffee shop gay, or goth. If you're a gay person, you know what I mean by coffee shop gay.
Coffee shop gay is very specific, and very real. Yes.
Well, no, like I'm thinking about when we watched Happy Season, right? That's some coffee shop gay right there. Like that is overt.
It's the vinyl shop, thrifting, expensive coffee gay.
Yes. Going to fabrics to buy a new thing to recarpet their couch or whatever, like reupholster their couch. Like that's the stereotype of, you know, lesbians in movies a lot of the time, is that dichotomy. And then when you look at the guys, right, most of them in this movie are extremely feminine, are counter masculine in pretty much every way that they possibly could be, because that's the stereotype of a lot of gay men in movies and in culture and in cinema, which is also part of the reason why I like Dolph so much.
Yep.
Because Dolph does feel like, out of the guys that are at True Directions, he does kind of like the only one that is just an actual character with actual development in who he is as a person. And it also doesn't hurt that he is played by my beloved King Dante Bosco, who I adore.
He's good looking as well. That helps. Yeah. But also he's one of the guys, like from the guys, he's the one that still in his interests, right, still fits the masculine stereotype of liking sports and being good at sports, whatever, right? He likes quote unquote masculine things, right? And he's like more mask presenting as well because of being an athlete, but still is just as gay as the others. You know what I mean? Like it's, which is what it is. And also, I don't know, like as someone that is, you were talking about like, when did you come out? Like whatever. I kind of always remember, I didn't know exactly what it was. I didn't know the names of anything, but I just always, since I can remember, right, I always remember just rejecting gender in general. Like it just never made sense to me whenever I heard like for girls or for what, like it just never clicked for me. It never made sense. I never saw a difference. It just felt, I always felt that way. Always. And when it comes to gender expression, right, and identity, and when it comes to sexuality, I kind of always felt, again, similar in a way that I feel now, which is I always felt the same way towards everyone, kind of, which is I'm interested in I think all genders are attractive potentially, but it doesn't mean that I want to fuck people necessarily. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like pansexual and asexual as well. So it's like very that and non-binary. So it's very, and I've always been that way. I just didn't really know what it was and a name to it. And it just became more and more, and I became more comfortable in like knowing what it was. Now I can, live that way more authentically, and I know what it is, right? But I kind of always felt that way, and I don't know. I came out to my dad, and my mom, when I came out to my mom, she was like, yeah, I kind of figured. She was like, yeah. And then my dad was like, as long as you don't take girls away from me or women away from me, I'm good. And I was like, okay. Of course, he had to make a joke and make it about himself as well. Love it. Yes.
Yeah, I've been told many times that when I was a kid, everyone knew. Everyone knew from the beginning. When I was a little child, everyone knew. I was a very sensitive boy, very, very sensitive boy. But I think I didn't realize this until like years later, but like I had a crush on a boy when I was like in elementary school. And I remember always like trying to, like when I would go to school, I always wanted to be there when he arrived because maybe he would notice me. And I was like, oh, I just want to be his best friend. I want him to notice me so that we can be besties. Now, absolutely not. That was a crush. That was absolutely a crush. And I didn't realize it until like when I was in high school that that's what it was. But the first time I realized that I was queer was because this is so lame and so stupid, but I'm going to say it anyways on the internet. I was looking for like Adventure Time, like stuff on the internet. And then I found like a fanfic of Marshall Lee and Prince Bubblegum. And that did it. That made me realize that.
That's that. You know, that was the hook. That was your root.
Well, here's the thing. We all have like early queer crushes. Like all of us queer people, like or like things that like relationships that we can identify with.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting looking back on it because, you think about your own as you age. And like some of the characters that I found attractive when I was like 12, 13, right? I look back on now and I'm like, oh, that's really cringe. I cannot believe that. But at the same time, when I was 12 or 13, that was just where I was at. And I sincerely hope that the people that I found attractive when I'm 12 and 13 are different now. And, that's just where you're at, like growth is great. We want to be better people and we want to try to grow and change as we get older. Something I want to talk about in this movie, though, that I found really important to me was just how much they actively are just going against the programming of this conversion camp the entire film. But anytime they get caught, it's nope, straight. I am straight. Hello, that's me, straight. Specifically Graham, right? Because Graham, this is a really interesting character because Graham knows she's gay. She is well aware that she is a lesbian. She knows this is not going to change her. She knows who she is. But the entire film is just, I don't want to lose my family. I don't want to lose the situation that I'm in because I'm gay, which means if they want me to be straight, I'm going to be straight and I'm going to get out of this camp. And that's just the way it is for me. It's relatable in a very real way. I'll just say that. I don't know a single queer person who either hasn't lost people because they were queer or, lost themselves by trying not to be queer. And you can just see how hard of a situation this is for her the entire movie. And it's really hard to not feel sympathetic for her. Even though this movie is, it's a comedy. Like that's all it is just a funny, good movie. It does make you really it hits home for me in a lot of places, watching a lot of these characters in their situations.
Yeah.
It is funny and it is a comedy, but it doesn't mean that it's not deep at the same time, because it is. And it really does. I feel like it is able to tackle its themes with a comedic tone in a perfect way that balances the two, right? In my opinion. And I think it is a little bit more serious when it has to be, and then goes back to that, but I feel like when it needs to be serious, it does a good job at doing that, as well as it does with the many funny moments. Because it is more of like because that's why like it's camp, right? Because it's making fun of it as well. Like it is at the same time, it's making social commentary on the conversion therapy and all of that, while also making fun of it, right? So, and the situation and the experiences. I would imagine that the people that were involved in writing this and creating this were either had these experiences or talked and interviewed and talked to people that went through experiences like this, to kind of be able to make light of such a serious and traumatizing experience, right? And in a good way, because if you're going to make fun of something that's traumatizing, it needs to be funny, right?
Yeah, it's the comedy needs to be funny so that it's not like not only cringe but also
it's not
like
punching down.
It's not punching down. Yeah, exactly. It's not like making fun at the people that went through this, but at the actual situation and how stupid it is to send someone to conversion therapy, because why the fuck would you do that? Going back to Graham, I think it's very interesting because we have all come out. We all had that fear of, once I say these words of I am queer, I identify as this, there's always that fear of, what if my family says no? What if my family just straight up rejects me? What if my family leaves me alone? What if my family decides to cut me off? And I think Graham specifically as a character really touches on that fear and how like horrifying that experience can be. But also I think with the ending, how everything goes, I think it also shows you that even if you're in a situation where your family doesn't respect you for who you are, there's still a world out there of people that will, and that you will find your people no matter what. You just have to be able to look and find them, and once you find them, you're there forever. That's your new family. And so I do like that we do touch on this subject, but I also like that it is a character that ends up with a happy ending, and a character that gives you hope, because it could have easily just ended with tragedy, with Graham just pretending to be straight for the rest of her life, and Natasha Lyonne's character, Megan, just getting on that truck and driving away to live her gay life for the rest, like forever. And I'm happy that that's not how it went. That we actually got a happy ending for these two characters. So,
one of the things that I was one of the things that I was thinking while you were it's because you were talking about the two characters, right, and Megan going back for Graham and whatever, and thinking about the dynamic between the two and also their individual stories. And what I think is very interesting is that Graham was there first, right? And Graham, differently from Megan, knew for a while that she was gay, has had experiences, she knows, and she whatever. And she was the one that was willing to stay and go through the things and fake it and whatever. And Megan didn't, because of that intervention in the beginning, she kind of really, and when she got there is when she actually realized that she was gay, because maybe if her family hadn't done that, she had spent years without realizing it and would have maybe got married, who knows, right? So she didn't quote unquote want to she didn't know, and she kind of didn't think she was, but once she found out and she discovered herself, she realized that she was unwilling to go back. And I think that is such an interesting difference between the two characters, that they both, of course, have different experiences, and they both have different fears and motivations. Because as we know, like Graham is also, because they're teenagers as well. Because like it's horrible for anyone to like fear losing their family because of this. But when you're a teenager and you still financially depend on these people to live, it's an added layer of fear and of danger that you are in, right? Of like being home, other things. And Graham, like, because Megan's parents were also like, we're gonna cut you off, whatever. But Graham had like a trust fund. Like she came from a different life, and she had like maybe more to lose in her head, I think. And her parents were like, it feels like she didn't feel love from her parents ever. And Megan had a different experience, like before all of this, and like her parents actually did like they did have a good relationship actually. And so I don't know, I just think it's really interesting the way that both characters act and the decisions that they make throughout the movie, kind of based on their lives before getting there, right? And the fact that like Graham helps Megan realize that she's gay for real, and then Megan helps Graham realize that it's okay and to let go of and like trade, you know. I would say trade up, right? Trade all of that and leave, make that choice, you know, because it is at that point you gotta choose. And I don't know, I hadn't thought of that when I watched it the first time, and I thought of it now, and I think it's an interesting aspect of their dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the end of the movie, we've been pretty positive. I want to talk about the negative aspects of this movie. One, the opening, I'll even say half. The opening, like 40% of this movie is not that engaging for me. A lot of the getting into the situations and getting into this camp and getting through I'll be honest, I find the opening kind of boring. Is a little rough to me. It's just not something I particularly enjoy. And then the other thing, the last like 15 to 20 minutes feel pretty rushed. We don't really get the scene where they catch the two of them in bed together, but they don't even really catch them in bed together. I don't think I really get exactly how that occurred. Because like Graham is not in bed with Megan when Megan was woken up.
She saw when, okay, so you know that scene where they are both in bed and they look at each other from across their beds, and then they go out to make out and whatever. There's a girl laying in the middle, in between both of their beds. There's a girl there, and she sees them sneaking out. So she snitches on them. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a girl that Graham was dancing.
Yeah, the girl that shocks herself.
Cocksucker.
Yeah, she was jealous. Yeah, Sinead. Yeah. And also, it was I of course I was like pissed off, but also I was really pissed off when Megan snitched on the boys. Like that was so fucked. I was so pissed off at her. But like I get it, but I was just like, oh my god. But then serve her right, because it happened to her as well. So like but she got hers in the end.
Karma.
Okay. One thing I want to talk about here is specifically watching Mary literally put him into a doghouse after she says, "You're going to be in the doghouse for real." Was like, I thought that was just a funny joke, but then she literally goes and puts us into a fucking doghouse for a week.
Yep.
Crazy. Fucking insane. It's fucking hilarious.
Also her directing her son in that step 5, the sexual simulation. That was fucking crazy. She's bonkers.
Insane. Fucking insane. Some quotes that she says are fucking insane. Like, no sipping, chug it like a man. Foreplays for CCs. Men just go
Stick it in
in,
there or
stick it
whatever.
in there, unload, and get out. I don't fucking know.
My
She's
God,
fucking insane. She's absolutely crazy, and
crazy.
yeah. I also think it's funny how Mike clearly has a crush on Mary's son. I forgot. I
Oh,
forget his
Rock and
name.
Mike are fucking for
Rock and Mike
100%.
are
100%.
fucking. They're
Oh
obviously
yeah,
fucking. Absolutely.
100%. When she's like suggesting to Megan, like, oh, if you pair with Rock for the
You can
simulation,
say.
whatever, you can get out of it. And then it cuts to him like dancing outside, like, I live. It's so good. It's so funny. It's so funny. And I also, what I thought was one scene that I thought was really funny was when they were trying to find Megan's route, right? And they called her parents, whatever. They had like the parents meeting. And then she was talking about like when her dad lost his job and then mom was whatever. And then Mary said, so you have no respect for men because you don't respect your father. I went, yes, I live. Clock Megan and clock me, for real, actually, low key. But that's so real. That is so real. I'm not gonna lie. Not that that's the reason why Megan is a lesbian, right? But like that hit actually. She kind of ate with that.
That makes sense for you specifically.
I mean, well,
like, come on now, let's be for real here.
And I think also one of my favorite moments when they were having the like slide presentation, whatever, and then Megan and Graham were like sitting next to each other, like before they got together for real. But just before, when like Graham just like just touched her arm like this, like just this, that scene was just perfection. I live. So hot, so perfect. It's the small, like the subtle, the build up, you know.
Yeah.
And then like them like doing girly things together, like painting each other's nails, whatever. Like,
yeah. And I also like that it's not the only time that it happens, and that they're not the only characters that get these moments.
Yeah.
Like Jan and Hillary get a moment at some point when they're like, for some reason, creating a wedding dress for Megan. Why? Who knows? But they were also like touching each other, and like all the boys, obviously, at some point they were like, when they were staring at Rock. When they were saying a rock, that's obviously a moment, and they like one dude was touching another guy's nipple for some strange reason. Like I like these moments. They're campy, they're fun, and they're also like very cutesy at the same time because like teenage love.
Oh, and also when Megan and Graham, like after they got together and like whatever, they sneak out, whatever, and after they were like talking, then Megan says, I never felt this way before except for when I was cheering. And that was so, and she was serious because she like actually loves cheering. And I thought that was so cheesy, but that was so sweet.
It's adorable.
It's so cute.
She talks about this how it was the only thing that kept her happy, right?
Yeah.
And like, I'm happy they kept that for her because if she like, I do really like how this is a movie that's about a traditionally feminine woman who is also a lesbian, right? Because it's one, it's refreshing as hell, but two, even on top of that too, she doesn't hate cheerleading. She doesn't do it because her family forced her to do it. She likes cheerleading. She has fun cheerleading. She's
not doing it to look feminine or like because it's girly or whatever, right? Yeah.
She just likes
to go to football games and cheer for the football team. That is what she wants to do. Kill the Rangers.
She wants to 1, 2, 3, 4. She lives.
Kill the
I love
Rangers.
that for her.
She just wants to kill those Rangers.
Kill the Rangers, right?
I thought it was so funny when she comes up to her boyfriend and the first thing that she says is "kill the Rangers," like with a little jump and a little hop. Like, yeah, let's kill the Rangers.
It's so genuine.
She has so much joy for this.
Yes.
But that's the thing. That genuineness is one. It's fucking contagious because you don't get to see that kind of thing for a lot of gay characters in movies, right? When is the last time you can remember a movie that was about a predominantly gay person, right? That wasn't about them being gay in the interest that they're doing, had an interest that they were genuinely passionate about, right? It doesn't happen very often. This movie came out in the 90s. Like, okay, I'll give you that.
You see why? Do you get it now? Do you get it? Do you get why it's so beloved? Like,
I mean,
I'm not saying you know, like you understand why it's such a cult classic and why people love it so much. Yeah.
Look, low budget comedy typically equals cult classic. If it's not immediately successful, it typically equals cult classic. The beautiful thing about comedy is even if most people find something unfunny, somebody will find it funny, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is funny. This is a funny movie. I enjoy it.
And heartfelt as well.
Yeah.
I truly loved the cheer, like the cheer at the end. I love that they like Megan didn't give up when Graham didn't like want to go immediately, and she was like, you know what, I'm gonna try one more time, because remember Graham told her like, I want to see you cheer after she said that she loved it. And she was like, I'm gonna try one more thing. And I genuinely like the cheer that she did at the end is so fucking cheesy, but it's so genuine and sweet. And it like it was really heartfelt. I cried. I always cried. Like when she does the cheer, like, I want you to be my mate, and like, oh, it's so cute. I love them. I love this movie. I'm like, I am one of the people that is just like, I love this movie. I don't care. It is what it is.
Yeah, I just think we need more like comedies with less. I just think we need more lesbian movies as a whole.
Period.
I think we, as a whole, like when we have queer movies, a lot of the time it is queer men, and of course, me as a queer man, I do like to watch not only me but people that like remind me of like friends that I have and stuff like that. Like, it's nice to see those on screen, but I also think that like just queer women don't get enough representation in movies as a whole. And so having, you know, a main character that is a lesbian, that has a lesbian love interest, and they end up together, I think that is like just very important. And I think it's very ahead of its time. And I think we need more movies that are maybe not like similar to this, but like in this vein of like, you know, just a lesbian character that has a happy ending with a lesbian, with another woman, you know, like I also think we need to stop making movies about people coming to terms with their sexuality and like needing to come out. I am tired of all the coming out scenes that I've seen in all the queer movies. We should just allow people to be queer. But I think this movie really like laid the groundwork for a lot of the queer movies that we have now, and for that I give it a lot of thanks and a lot of props.
I agree. I want more movies about queer joy. That's the thing as well.
Please.
And when you say like, I agree with like more queer women, and that doesn't mean necessarily queer women exclusively. It just means more queer women as the main focus of a story, and like, and that also that have a happy ending and that are layered characters, like you said, Brooke, like that have an interest and have a life that doesn't revolve around the fact that they are gay. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it can have, of course, it's gonna have, you know, that aspect and whatever, but that feels more real and more complex, and that kind of shows the way that our lives really are today, right? Because of course there is still a lot of struggle, and that's you know undeniable, but there's so much joy, and I feel like we need more movies that show that, and that's something I feel like we are getting. I don't know, like I feel like it's, I don't know, I feel like it's getting better at least, but this was, from being from the 90s, like it really is unexpected that it's this good. And I don't know, and that it aged this well as well. Right? Because a lot of films like don't age the best. I was watching Priscilla, Queen of the Desert yesterday, and like it's I still enjoyed it, but there's some stuff that didn't age the best, and you can tell that it was made in the 90s, if you know what I mean. But this doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And that's shocking, honestly, but great.
Yeah, I do want to, there's one little thing I want to specifically touch on real quick that we haven't had the opportunity to really talk about yet, that I would like to spend more than the 2 seconds I mentioned on it earlier. So I have known for a long time that Dante Bosco is in this movie. Okay, now I know we're kind of wrapping up, but I did want to talk about this very important thing to me specifically in this film. So I've met Dante Bosco. I've met him a couple times actually. One, he is a very great actor, and I love him a lot. But two, anytime I've met him, it's always been at a convention. It's been like Q&As have been happening at the convention. I cannot tell you the amount of different times I have heard people bring up But I'm a Cheerleader to him, and just the way he talks about how much this movie meant to him. Because I mean, look, he is a straight man. Like he is just a straight man. But he talked about how important it was for him to be part of a movie like this. And how special it was for him, because even at this point, he had a name, right? He had already done Hook at this point. And this is only what 4 or 5 years before Avatar came out. So he was, like he's doing good. Like he's fine. But he said he wanted to do something like this because he wanted to be part of something important. And you know what? Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Like that's great. Yeah. This while it may not be personally my favorite queer movie I have seen, the fact that this is a movie that came out in the 90s, and that it really did break open a lot of doors for where we would be going in the future. I mean, hell, Bring It On came out like right after this too, and that had, stereotypical gay representation, but still gay representation. And then as time went on, we've just seen more and more different bridging queer movies. And I don't think this is the first one, but it's definitely one of the more important earlier ones that really allowed that to happen. So thank you guys for making this movie, because we appreciate you. I don't know how many of the other movies we're talking about this month really would have existed without a movie like But I'm a Cheerleader.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so good. I love that the end is like a happy ending, but it's a bittersweet ending, right? Because
you're leaving everything behind. In your family.
Like they chose themselves, like some of them, right? Because some of the kids stayed in the graduation and we don't know what happens to them, whatever. But like the kids that decided to leave in the truck, like they had a happy ending in the sense that they chose themselves, but they still had to, give up other things, and it was obviously a hard choice. But I don't know, I love the way that the movie ends, and then it ends with the parents, like with the meeting for like parents of gay children, like trying to be accepting and all, like kind of like an AA meeting for that. It's really funny because it's, as someone that did like the NA meetings, whatever, there's also the meetings for like family of addicts, and so it's kind of like it's that same thing of like the family of it's really great. I like specifically as I said before, that the ending is hopeful. It might, as you said, Roberta, it is bittersweet, but it's more than anything, it is hopeful, because there is hope for these people, because they have chosen to live their lives the way that they should be allowed to, and they are going out there into the world to just be who they are. And sure, there's going to be challenges with that, and with living without your parents and being like ostracized by being who you are. But at the end of the day, there's so much hope in that truck. Those 4 people together in that truck have so much hope for the future, and there's joy to be found. There's joy there, and there's joy to be found still. So and
they know that they're not alone. They know that they're together. They have somewhere to go. They have somewhere to stay. They have a possible future where they can not only be together with the people that like they found some attraction to in this place, but they also found like a possible future of just a way to exist without anyone judging you, without anyone like cutting you off, without anyone just making fun of you or anything like that. There's hope, as I said, in that truck, and I think we need more movies that end with that much hope, especially with queer movies. Because we have so many queer movies where like they do the bury your gays and someone dies or like some horrible shit happens and they go through traumatic shit, And sure, a lot of those movies are good as well in and of itself
And
because
they're important too,
they're
but
important as
it's
well.
good to have a variety.
It is important to also be able to show that the queer experience also has joy in it. There's challenges, there's stuff
More
that
gay rom-coms. No tragedy,
absolutely.
just romance and comedy and some
Yeah.
silly, goofy, like please.
That's why I also think I find myself liking things like Heartstopper because it is just a cheesy rom-com. It is a cheesy rom-com that doesn't really focus. Like, yes, both of the characters there suffer through challenges, but a lot of those challenges don't really have to deal with being queer, or at least after the first season. There's something
And
else.
also, it doesn't
so,
mean that there can't be any problems or conflict or
yeah,
anything. It's just that not being the main focus of their story,
yeah.
right?
I think, and there just needs to be movies and stories where, as I said, we are able to show that the queer experience does have joy in it. Because there's so many where like it's just sadness, depression, and homophobia and everything like that we need to be able to show to these kids that are just coming out, they're just starting to understand who they are. It's important to tell them that yes, it's gonna be hard, but you're gonna be happy. You're gonna find joy somewhere, whether it's with your partner, with another family, with friends, something. You will find joy. Just be yourself. Everything will be okay. We need more of that. And as I said, that ending specifically, I think, would have given me a lot of joy had I been a child when this came out. And it gives me a lot of joy now. Just the idea of Megan and, her having a girlfriend, maybe. Yeah, it just.
Like, do we think that like Graham and Megan lasted long after that? I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But it doesn't really matter. The important part is that they helped each other, like live their truest selves and like find themselves, and like that. It doesn't really matter, right? What happened after.
It doesn't matter if they stayed together. It just matters that they both changed so much of their lives, of each other's lives,
in a positive way.
In a positive way.
Because of each other, they have been changed for good, you might say.
Well, yeah. Well,
yes.
I would.
My other favorite lesbians, Glinda and Elphaba, everyone.
There we go. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I just wanted to point out one more thing that I thought was a funny moment was when Megan when she got kicked out and went to Larry and Lloyd's house. And she was like, "Teach me how to be a lesbian," to two gays, and they were like, "Baby, honey, we can't help you. Sorry,
Miss Bling, we cannot help you there."
But I do love the line of it's not that it's not because they're gay. It's because they said lesbian people there's no right way to be a lesbian.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yay! Positive portrayals of non-stereotypical gayness. Yay!
Correct. Love it. Love it.
I love Megan asking, "Where did the lesbians live? Where did they live?"
And also the last thing before we wrap up, because I skipped through that. One of the funniest moments to me was when she realized that she was a homosexual, and she was like crying, sobbing, and literally drooling, and being like, "I'm a homosexual," and that was so.
Full
Shout
breakdown.
Out. That was so good.
Okay.
So good.
Can I just say, anytime I hear someone say homosexual, especially in a movie, it makes me think of the opening of Mean Girls, right? And on the third day, God created the Remington bolt action rifle to protect men from the dinosaurs and the homosexuals. Like that exact the way that kid says homosexuals is the way I hear it every time someone says it in a movie. So thank you, random boy who played a hick homeschool boy in Mean Girls. Your impact is still felt to this day. Thank you very much.
Shout out to you.
All right, are we ready for scores?
Yes.
All right. So, Eduardo, this was your choice, so you will go first.
Yes, of course. As I clearly stated, this movie is great. I think this movie is very important. It affected all of the queer cinema and art that we get nowadays. It is not perfect. some of the comedy like didn't hit as hard as I wanted it to. And I do agree with you that the first half is just not as funny as the second half, but it's still a really, really good movie. And like, even though it's not as funny as the second half, the first half is still funny. So for me, there's not a lot of huge flaws in this movie. And that's why for my score, I did end up giving it a 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So for me, I'll just say for myself, I do like the second half of the movie a lot more than the first half of the movie. And I do think it does get better as it goes. I do think the first half has a little bit of pacing problems. And then on top of that, there are certain aspects of this film that I am not a huge fan of. Specifically just the family therapy scene, I don't think is really needed. I feel like you could cut that out of the movie and everything would be totally fine. That is just me. I would rather this be dialogue between the characters at the conversion camp than have their parents be physically in the room. Again, that is just me. But where we're at with the movie, I can't deny its impact. And I think giving it an extra half point just for the presence of some really important people, specifically Dante Bosco. I love you, Dante Bosco. I think is appropriate. So I will be giving it 3.5 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. And like I said before, I really do just love this movie. It has a special place in my heart. I really can't. I am biased. You know what I mean? I am not being 100% objective, and I admit to that, and I don't give a fuck. And with that being said, to me, this is a 5-star movie. To me. Thank you, Eduardo, for choosing this. Love you for that.
I had to. Also, shout out to Natasha Lyonne. We didn't talk much about your performance here, but you did amazing, sweetie. Thank you very much.
Yeah, she did a great job. It's just that Clea DuVall she's the star for me. I'm just obsessed with Graham. She's so cool. I want to be her. I love her. She's the best.
So, thank you so much for listening to us talk about But I'm a Cheerleader today. But we're not done being gay just yet. No. See, we're gay all the time, but we're going to be extra gay for the entire month of June because it is Pride Month. And if you don't like rainbows, well, sucks to be you. So, next up is a River selection for Pride Month. Yes. And just tell the people what you picked, River.
So for next week, I decided to become, like I said, I wanted to try and show you guys Brazilian movies, as many as I could that fit the theme. And for this one, I chose a movie that I actually missed. I have not seen this movie, and it's been on my watch list for a while. And I am kind of embarrassed that I didn't get to it yet. Like, I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I haven't seen this for my Brazilians out there, especially the Brazilian queers. I am sorry. I admit, my bad. So it is time. I'm doing it. It's happening. And I'm happy to share this experience with you. So next week, we will be watching The Way He Looks, Hoje Eu Quero Voltar Sozinho, in the original title, from 2014, about a blind queer teenage boy. And that is the extent of what I know about the film. And we will see. We shall see. I'm excited.
Okay, quick note. I know literally nothing about this movie. Positive.
Literally, that's all I know.
Positive disability rap? Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I've been waiting to watch this movie for a while now. I've been wanting to watch it. So thank you very much, River, for picking this one.
Good.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see it. I'm quite curious. We have had a interesting collection of Brazilian movies to this point. I know. Is it only one more after next week currently on the schedule? I think there's 2 more. There's 2 more. 3 more. 4 more. There's more this year.
September is coming as well. Well, there's enough.
There's something in September happening.
Something is happening.
We got a couple months before then. But hint for the week after that is if you watched a certain video earlier this year that we recorded, it's time to talk about a movie that we said we were going to talk about this year during June. So that's going to be happening after next week, where we talk about the way he looks. But until next time, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here today while we talked about But I'm a Cheerleader. Let us know in the comments down below. What do you think about this movie? How much do you love Dante Bosco? Let us know in the comments down below. I'm just kidding. How much do you love this movie? Because it's a great movie. And of course, let us know down in the comments below. Is there anything you would like us to cover in the future? You're going to have a little bit of time to maybe get some requests in for the coming seasons. So keep your eyes open for that one, and keep your fingers texting on your keyboard. Thank you very much. But thank you for joining us. But unfortunately, we have ran out of popcorn, drank our entire soda, and nobody ever eats more than one soft pretzel. So we will see you next time, everybody, to talk about the way he looks. But until then, we're getting out of here. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.